I ain't tripping on the business. He signed Migos from Gucci. That's business. You don't know them none of that. You and Wham Big Homie is best friends. Wham is your little brother. Before Wham was rapping, Wham little bro. Like, been coming around you, been doing certain shit, been at your studio, been doing shit, just gambling, before he was rapping.
Imagine being one signature away from money that could change your bloodline forever. The kind of deal that sets your kids and their kids straight. Now picture trusting the very person who put you on, only to find out that same person quietly stepped around you and secured the bag for themselves. That's the situation people say Lil Baby found himself in, and after staying quiet for years, he's finally letting the truth spill. Industry watchers are calling this one of the coldest moves Atlanta hip-hop has seen in a long time. According to commentary floating around, Lil Baby turned down a private sit-down about a massive $150 million buyout because he didn't want to move behind his label head's back. While Baby was standing on loyalty, conversations were still happening, just without him in the room. Those same insiders point out that Quality Control's CEO, Pierre P. Thomas, was allegedly in quiet talks with that very same executive. Not for Baby's deal, but for the entire label.
QC, the label, gets sold for $300 million to Scooter Braun. Now, you know how Thug manipulates that? Thug is in Baby's ear saying, yo, you know that company didn't even want the full label. You're the hot shit right now. They wanted to just buy your shit for $150 million. And supposedly, Baby never, didn't follow up with certain meetings. They just ended up buying the whole label. They were going to buy him out of his deal for $150 and have him signed. Baby was like, and they said, oh, you can't make your mind up? All right, fuck it. We'll just go to your bosses and give them double for everybody. And they bought the entire 300. Now, when the purchase happens, P gets the 300 million. Is an artist owed money if the label you helped build gets sold? Baby doesn't own part of QC. Now, if they did the deal for 150 million for Lil Baby's career, Lil Baby would have gotten paid from Hybe because he would have to re-sign to Hybe. So it would have been an all-in-one deal.
When the dust settled, QC was reportedly sold for around $300 million, and the artist many believe the deal was built around didn't see a slice of that payout. People close to the situation say that's where everything shifted. What once looked like a textbook success story started feeling sideways. Observers aren't calling it illegal, but they are calling it strategic. And to some, it feels personal. The reaction online suggests this moment is forcing artists everywhere to rethink what loyalty really buys them in this industry. To understand how it even reached this point, you have to rewind back to Atlanta before the charts, before the plaques, before the private jets. Dominique Jones, now known as Lil Baby, wasn't chasing rap dreams back then. His name was already ringing in Zone 4, just not for music. Commentators often point out that Baby had real-world credibility, real connections, and a reputation that couldn't be fabricated. Music wasn't the plan, money was. But P reportedly saw something others missed. Not a polished rapper, but raw presence, respect, and authenticity that labels usually struggle to create. That's where people say the real vision came in. Instead of molding an artist from scratch, the move was about redirecting someone who already had influence. According to industry voices, that decision changed everything and set the stage for one of the most talked about power dynamics in modern hip-hop. People close to the situation say the turning point came when P first sat Lil Baby down and pitched him a different lane. The message was direct and strategic. You're already living the life most rappers only talk about, already respected, already connected. So why not turn those experiences into clean money through music?
Like, this real family, this little bro. I'm telling you, him and Wham was like brothers. All us was brothers. Well, me and Wham was brother and P and Wham was brother. You know what I'm saying? I never really looked at P like a brother. I always looked at him like a businessman. Like, what's up, my boy? Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't never looked at him like family. Cause we in business. We damn near competition. Not to me, cause I fuck with your artists. I did songs with Migos when I was lit and they wasn't. I did songs with Wham before he made music. I paid for Wham's first studio session, not no fucking P. I paid for that. I paid for his first song. I did the first feature with him, me. When he was just a regular young street nigga gambling. I seen that. I'm telling you. This all facts. This ain't nothing P can get on here and twist and lie and say. This ain't nothing Wham can say. Lie and say. This is all facts.
This wasn't framed as just a career switch. According to commentary, it was about survival, stability, and protecting family long-term. Street life came with non-stop pressure and legal risk, and P was offering a way to keep the lifestyle without constantly looking over your shoulder. To many observers, that pitch alone changed the trajectory of everything. Once Baby agreed, insiders say P didn't play around. This wasn't a hands-off deal where the artist was left to figure it out alone. Time, resources, studio access, and industry guidance were all put on the table. Early on, their relationship looked like a real partnership built on trust and shared vision. P reportedly helped Baby understand how the music business actually works. Studio sessions weren't just about recording, they were about learning structure, sound, and strategy. Baby brought raw authenticity and relentless work ethic, and that combination started producing results fast. The rise that followed shocked a lot of people watching from the sidelines. In less than 2 years, Lil Baby went from never recording to becoming one of the most talked about artists in the game. His 2017 mixtape Perfect Timing didn't just introduce him, it proved the gamble was paying off. By the time Harder Than Ever dropped in 2018, things were moving at warp speed. The project landed near the top of the charts, and tracks like Southside were ringing off everywhere. Commentators pointed out that his delivery felt effortless, the stories felt real, and the hunger was obvious. Behind the scenes, the business numbers were climbing just as fast. Industry voices say Baby went from making nothing off music to pulling 6 figures per appearance in under 18 months. Small venues turned into packed halls, then major stages with fees jumping every few months. By 2019, reports suggested his performance price had reached $500,000 per show. By 2020, some festival appearances were bringing in over $1 million per night. Streaming didn't lag either. Records like Drip Too Hard with Gunna and Yes Indeed with Drake were pulling massive numbers. From the outside looking in, many analysts say this run confirmed everything P believed about Baby's ceiling. The artist was delivering, the brand was growing, and the label was winning big, at least on the surface. From the outside, a lot of people saw this as the ultimate success story. Someone with zero music industry background turned into one of the biggest names in hip-hop. For Lil Baby, that rise changed everything. Commentary around the situation often highlights how he was finally able to move his family out of risky environments, create stability, and start building real generational wealth through music. The transition looked like exactly what had been promised: clean money, global recognition, and freedom from constant pressure. But as many industry watchers point out, bigger success almost always brings bigger complications, and that's where things started shifting. As Baby's profile exploded, attention followed from all corners of the industry. Executives, distributors, and power players were suddenly paying close attention, especially to one thing: his catalog. Observers note that by this point, his music wasn't just popular, it was extremely valuable. Before even getting into the Scooter Braun situation, a lot of analysts say it's important to understand quality control music's reputation behind the scenes. That context, they argue, makes later events feel less shocking to people familiar with how the industry operates. QC built one of the most successful rosters in modern hip-hop, no question. But alongside the wins, there was also a long-running perception that the label played hardball when it came to contracts and compensation. This reputation became public during the 2019 legal dispute involving Migos. According to widely discussed filings, the group raised concerns that their agreements leaned heavily in the label's favor. One of the most talked about claims involved automatic renewal clauses that allegedly made it extremely difficult for them to fully separate from the label as long as distribution deals stayed in place. Financial structure was another major point of contention. Commentary around the case often mentions claims that, despite massive revenue generation, the artists were seeing only a limited share due to how the deals were set up. None of this was ruled on publicly, but the allegations alone made waves. There were also discussions about potential conflicts involving legal representation, with claims suggesting the same attorney had ties to both sides. Industry insiders weren't exactly stunned by this narrative, pointing out that QC had long been viewed as sharp and profit-focused in negotiations. Other stories floated around as well. Offset reportedly had to pay a large amount to regain control of his solo rights. In leaked conversations that circulated online, Young Thug was also heard expressing frustration about how artists were compensated relative to their success. By the time major negotiations involving QC artists started coming up, many people inside the business already knew this reputation well, and that background looms large when discussing everything that followed. By this point, most people in the business understood one thing clearly: P and his team were always going to put quality control music first. That context matters, because in 2021, Scooter Braun reportedly zeroed in on Lil Baby's catalog as one of the most valuable assets in hip-hop. The number being discussed made jaws drop, around $150 million strictly tied to Baby's music. Here's where observers say loyalty took center stage. When Scooter's side reached out about a private meeting, Baby allegedly shut it down immediately. Commentary around leaked calls suggests Baby didn't want to sit down without P involved, saying he wasn't about to move in a way that felt sneaky or disloyal. From the outside, that reaction fit Baby's character. P had backed him before the fame, before the charts, before the money. So instead of jumping at a massive solo payday, Baby reportedly insisted everyone be included. But while Baby was standing firm, later conversations suggest something else was happening quietly. According to those same leaked discussions, Scooter's team shifted direction, offering not $150 million for one artist, but roughly $300 million for the entire label. And based on P's own words in those recordings, Baby's catalog was still the real prize. From an industry standpoint, a lot of observers say the $300 million label deal tells its own story. The thinking shared by commentators is simple. Instead of paying $150 million directly for Lil Baby's catalog, Scooter Braun allegedly doubled the number and went after the entire operation to get what really mattered. In leaked recordings that later circulated, P is heard explaining the sequence in his own words. Baby wouldn't meet without him, so the deal shifted directions entirely. Analysts listening to those calls say P sounded almost proud, describing how the situation worked out in his favor. What hits hardest for a lot of fans is the loyalty angle. Commentary suggests Baby's decision to stand by his CEO ended up being used against him. While Baby tried to move clean, negotiations were still happening without him in the room. In those same conversations, P reportedly admits Baby was the main value driver, yet structured things, so all proceeds stayed with label ownership. That detail alone is why many people call this more than business. They call it personal. When the calls went public, Baby's response was immediate. The unfollows between him and Quality Control Music didn't go unnoticed. In hip-hop, that's a loud signal something broke behind closed doors. Industry voices say Baby's camp also began reviewing legal paths, even though contracts may have limited his options. To many watching, the takeaway feels brutal. Doing the right thing may have cost Lil Baby a generational moment. That original $150 million offer wasn't just big money. It was future-proof money, the kind that locks in family security for generations. But people following the story say the real damage went deeper than finances. This was about trust breaking down at the highest level. From Baby's side, commentary suggests he didn't see P as just a business figure. He saw a mentor, a close ally, someone who genuinely wanted him to win. That's why the leaked calls hit so hard. They showed two completely different views of the same relationship. While Baby moved with loyalty and partnership in mind, those recordings made it sound like profit, and positioning were the priority on the other side. The public unfollowing between Baby and Quality Control Music sent a loud message across the industry. What followed became a cautionary moment for artists everywhere. Industry voices began pointing to this situation as proof that success alone doesn't protect you. Ownership, leverage, and contract structure matter just as much as talent. Many fans rallied behind Lil Baby, seeing someone who did things the right way still come out burned. And that lesson hasn't been lost on anyone watching how big money really moves in this business. When you step back and really look at this situation, a lot of industry voices say it exposes one of the harshest realities in music. Artists can create massive value, move culture, and generate millions, yet still be left exposed if they don't have strong protections in place. Talent alone isn't enough. Ownership, leverage, and legal structure matter just as much. From the outside, Lil Baby's response felt calm but intentional. The unfollowing between him and Quality Control Music wasn't loud or chaotic, but it spoke volumes. Commentary around the move suggests Baby understood the relationship had reached its limit and that protecting himself had to come first. There was no public meltdown, no endless interviews, no back and forth, just distance, silence, and a clear shift in direction. In hip-hop, those moves are rarely accidental. They're signals, and everyone in the industry knows how to read them. Looking forward, many analysts say this situation will live on as a cautionary tale. Not just about one artist and one label, but about how trust operates when serious money enters the picture. Loyalty sounds good, but without safeguards, it can become a liability instead of a strength. That reported $150 million Baby walked away from represents more than just numbers on paper. To many fans, it symbolizes the cost of believing relationships will always outweigh contracts. And in an industry where deals change overnight, that belief can be expensive. What makes this story hit harder is that Baby did everything the right way. He stayed loyal, generated massive success, and tried to handle business with integrity. Yet when the stakes got high enough, that loyalty didn't protect him. It left him vulnerable. That lesson hasn't gone unnoticed. Industry lawyers, managers, and upcoming artists have reportedly used this situation as a reference point. Ownership clauses, exit strategies, and control over catalogs are now being discussed with a lot more urgency. At the end of the day, this wasn't just about Lil Baby, Pierre Thomas, or even Scooter Braun. It was about how the music business really works when power and profit collide. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think Baby was right to stand on loyalty, or should he have taken that meeting and protected his interests first? Drop your thoughts in the comments. This conversation isn't one-sided. If you appreciate breakdowns that peel back the curtain on celebrity power moves and industry drama, make sure you like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss what's next. Hit that notification bell because these stories keep unfolding. And before you go, check out the next video popping up on your screen right now. If this situation shocked you, that one dives even deeper into celebrity drama shaking the industry. See you on the next one. Stay sharp, stay informed, and remember, in this business, loyalty without protection can cost everything.